What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where in this one I'm talking about a couple of retirements that happened yesterday. One of them a surprise retirement, one of them that we kind of expected to happen, just didn't know when it would happen. But we're going to start here with Shaq Leonard, the Maniac, retiring as a Colt this upcoming Sunday. Going to be honored at the Colts Stadium. So if you're going to the game, shout out. That's going to be awesome. Wish I could be there for that. One of my all-time favorite Colts, without a doubt, as somebody who played linebacker. Just absolutely fell in love with Shaq Leonard, the way he played, the way he came out after people were pretty much saying this is at least in Bleacher Report, we're saying this is the worst draft pick or one of the worst draft picks that happened. And it ended up working out real well for the Colts, at least there for a little while. Now, obviously, we were robbed of what Shaq Leonard could do through his career with the injury that he ended up getting, getting some nerve issues, and it really took away a lot of what made him special. But for us, he was such a special player, and I'm glad that he's come to the conclusion that he's going to retire and that he's going to retire a Colt, right? Seemingly sign a one-day contract, retire as a Colt. And just to share some of what he was able to do from 2018 to 2021, he was a defensive rookie of the year. In his rookie year, really no competition there, to be honest with you. Three-time first-team All-Pro. I believe there's also a second-team All-Pro in there, if I'm not mistaken. And he was also a three-time Pro Bowler. He had 11 interceptions, one of which was a pick six, which I was able to see. I saw two of those interceptions in the pick six in the Tampa game in 2019 when Colts inevitably lost 38-35 to Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston threw for like 500 yards for like 2 games in a row. It was an insane game to watch. But I did see Shaq Leonard get 2 interceptions, including the pick six. He had 30 pass deflections, 17 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries, 15 sacks, 538 tackles, 30 tackles for loss, and 20 quarterback hits. So somebody who could legitimately do everything on the field. Anything he was asked to do, he did it at an elite level, and what he provided for us at a time when we really needed answers. Right, we had lost Andrew Luck. Right, we had Andrew Luck through that 2018 season, but then after that, after losing Andrew Luck and things being so up and down for us, the stability that he provided for the defense was incredible. Right, you think about when Matt Eberflus was here, what really made that defense go. Like, Shaq Leonard saved us a lot. Right, I think a lot of people will remember a game against the Texans where Texans were driving, they were going to score, they would have ended up winning that game. And as the guy was about to run into the end zone, Shaq punches the ball out. Right, we end up recovering, we end up winning that game because of Shaq. And there are plenty of examples like that where he essentially helped win us the game. So what he did for Colts, the team, what he was able to do, and what he provided, like, fans are not gonna forget about Shaq Leonard and what he was able to do. The Maniac truly came in, and he was exactly that. He was all over the field. He was truly one of the best players in the NFL during his short time being one of the best players in the NFL. Again, unfortunately, injuries, took away the abilities that he had, and unfortunately, really, ended his career. He tried to give it a go with the Eagles, and even had, a game or two where he was good with them, but ultimately just wasn't the same player anymore once the injuries happened. So shout out to Shaq Leonard. Again, retiring as a Colt this upcoming Sunday. Wish I could be there for that ceremony, but anybody that is, I hope that you're able to, get up, get loud, and show Shaq that we still love him. He's going to be banging the anvil on Sunday as well, so should be a good celebration against the Raiders, and hopefully Colts can come out, have a big-time dominant win on the day that Shaq's retiring and in the building, and shout out to being back at home after 2 games away. Now, the other retirement is Xavier Howard. right? Somebody who's taken a lot of criticism, and somebody who, we were talking about, you absolutely cannot play him. So if you're not going to play him, then I think this was probably the most obvious course of action. He came out with his own statement on his retirement, being thankful to the Dolphins, being thankful to the Colts, and ultimately saying that he's really just essentially he misses his family, right? Being away from the league for a year and being able to take his kids to school and being able to do things with his family. And ultimately, I think Sunday, you kind of saw it, right? The effort just wasn't there. He's obviously lost a step, but the effort just wasn't there. Somebody who I think had just gotten to a point where he realized this wasn't what he wanted to do anymore, and instead of taking a back seat and being a backup all year, he went ahead and called it quits. So, and shout out to @FinsExtra, Dolphins account on Twitter, put up these stats. 8 years as a Dolphin, played in 100 games, had 29 interceptions, which is the most in the NFL since 2016, 4 defensive touchdowns, 4 forced fumbles, 2-time All-Pro, 2-time NFL interception leader, 4-time Pro Bowler, and 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting in 2020. So never able to get that elusive Defensive Player of the Year, but had an incredible impact over his time with the Dolphins, was one of the best defensive players in the NFL for a long time. Just year in, year out, came into the NFL as an absolute dog and stayed that way for a long time. Obviously, not the ending that any player wants, the way it all ended up breaking up and breaking down by the end of his career, right? The Vic Fangio year with the Dolphins wasn't great. And then obviously taking a year away from football, trying to come back and see what he has, and just didn't have it anymore. So after 4 games with the Colts, calls it quits. We'll always have week 1 where he recovered a fumble against the Dolphins, helped us win that game, right? Helped us put together a game plan against his former team. So shout out and congratulations on an incredible career to both of these guys. Again, Shaq Leonard calling it quits officially, right? Hadn't played in the NFL for a little while, but officially calling it quits, and will be in Lucas Oil Stadium this Sunday. So with that, you let me know what you think about the Shaq Leonard thing. Are you going to be at the game on Sunday, right? The Shaq Leonard retirement. And what do you think is going to happen on Sunday against the Raiders with Shaq Leonard in the building? You guys let me know in the comment section down below. And, of course, if you enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And, as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.